I was trying to remember a song this morning, and I couldn't remember the words or the tune. So
I have done that before, actually.
Questionable whether I was even trying to remember this song. But
no, but I've definitely done that before.
I could not think of anything but Hotel California, and then it finally dawned on me that I was thinking of Margaritaville without remembering the words or the tune.
Nice. Yeah, no, I've definitely done exactly that kind of thing before. Like, I know this lyric is wrong. I know I can't think of how the tune goes, but I know there's something I'm thinking of. What is it?
And it's vaguely stylistically similar to Hotel California,
exactly.
but is not Hotel California.
All right, we have 4 boosts. Now, if you can get, I think each one is worth 4, right?
Let me just yell. I have no... Yes, yeah, I think they were 4. I think that's right.
So
yes.
I think you only need 3 boosts to agility to get your to get that phaser.
Great, and what are the odds that I don't get that? I'm sure it'll work out. Great.
Have you ever heard of save states?
I could save state. I haven't heard of save states, no. But I could use them.
I wonder what OpenAI thinks of save states.
I wonder what OpenAI thinks of a story about save states by Ferdinand Kring.
I wonder what OpenAI thinks about fish elf / rod.
It's how gold, how give, offer, there we go. I did not remember what my current stats were.
Strength is what boosted.
But it can't boost strength, says you.
Oh, it can't, and it did.
The guides, they lie! They lie!
But here's the thing, you did it many times and it never boosted strength.
Yeah, but I think it also it's also by coincidence never boosted wisdom, I think. Like it was
Yeah.
That gave me strength again.
I see that. Which doesn't sound bad, but it would be nice to be able to get that phaser. Even though you're using the cannons.
But I'm not always going to be able to use the cannons.
Right.
That gave me strength.
Strength again. Apparently it only gives strength now.
It just only offers strength. Who knew? Agility!
Oh, agility. Never mind.
Agility!
Yay, agility!
Yes!
There we go. Nice.
And my goal was
is now
43?
to get enough money to buy a phaser.
Yeah, okay.
41, so yeah.
Right, okay.
49 is actually to get the best weapon in the game, but that's 2 more, and I think getting a phaser is probably good enough.
If there was a Chinese bootleg of Ultima II for NES, it might be better than Ultima II.
It might.
If they just used the same engine as they would use for any RPG, it would be better.
It would be better.
Has any story happened so far, asks Speclad. I don't think any story happens at all. I don't think there's any so far about it. I don't think this game has a story.
I mean, I already read the entire story.
Well, yeah, we know the backstory. There's the backstory to the game that you're supposed to know before you do the game. The question is there any story in the actual game? And I'm going with, probably not. Come on back. Come on back. Don't be a fraidy cat. There you go. Now you die.
It's amazing how they just give up running away at some point. They're just like,
I'll probably be fine.
Life was going to end anyway. I like how we took opposite tacks on that one.
The depressive thief who's like, well, if death must come, then it might as well be from a frigate. I don't know why. Well, yes, I do know why. The French accent because depressive.
Yes, exactly. $39.48. Yeah.
4,000 for that. 576. It's so close to the 500 anyway that I think I'm just gonna buy it. Phasers are cool. Is it okay that I'm blowing up an angel? It seems like a cruel that. Well, I blew up an angel. It's fine. It's fine. Sometimes you blow up an angel.
So you purchase it from a guy named Sentry, but his name isn't actually Sentry. It just looks like it's Sentry. It's apparently pronounced Centre.
Hi, I'm Centre.
The I, by the way, it's an I, not a Y, by the way. But still, yes. Yeah, exactly.
Even more, it's hello, I'm Centre. Would you like to purchase my living sword?
Oh God, that takes on a whole new meaning, doesn't it?
Yup, it sure does that. I have to know, are there speedruns of Zork? Because if you're...
I would be surprised if there weren't.
So like a tool-assisted speedrun of Zork is meaningless because it would just depend on your CPU speed. But like a regular speedrun of Zork, I feel like if you were on something with equivalent power to like the original IBM PC, you can type faster than it can process commands. So you could get an actual like fastest possible playthrough. Ooh, here's something I haven't tried. To translate this gibberish into English and then type in gibberish.
I'm gonna go ahead and start that. Translate Gnirsk. Gnirsk is not a word in English. Well, thanks. I already knew that. Ultima II strategy guide, then.
By Ferdinand Kring.
I'm going to put a new line by Ferdinand. How do you spell Kring?
I think C-R-I-N-G. I don't honestly remember the name I invented for this character.
Oh, it actually completed the character name. It's now Ferdinand Kringle. I guess I
Oh
probably
my
should have put a couple
God.
more carriage returns if I didn't want
no,
it to do that.
It's even better. He's Ferdinand Crinkle. He's like he's Santa's like bastard child.
Yes, exactly. This is a strategy guide for the game Ultima II. The first thing you should do is get the white sword, which doesn't exist in this game. To do this, go to the city of Britian. That's right, Britian, or Britian, maybe if you want to pronounce it that way.
Okay.
And talk to the blacksmith. He will give you the white sword if you have enough money. He'll give it to you if you have enough money. He just wants to know that you're rich.
Yeah, it's not about purchasing.
Now this is wonderful. Next, you should go to the city of Lothlorien and talk to the Elf Queen. She will give you a quest to retrieve the lost crown of Elfland. To do this, go to the city of...
Whoa! I feel like you went way too quickly over Elfland.
Elfland, yes. Well, there's more Elfland. To do this, go to the city of Elfland and talk to the king. He will give you the crown. Once you have the crown, return it to the Elf Queen, and she will give you a magic ring. This ring will allow you to... I mean, you're in Lothlorien, you're talking to the Elf Queen, Galadriel, obviously, and she's giving you a magic ring. What do you think the magic ring does? If you say it makes you invisible, you're wrong. This ring will allow you to teleport to any city on the map.
Wow!
Next,
you this is like
it's a good
step 3 in the guide. That's
Yep. Next, you should go to the city of Camelot and talk to King Arthur. He will give you a quest to retrieve the Holy Grail.
I mean, this game would have a city of Camelot and a King
Yes,
Arthur.
it would. Yes, it would. To do this, to get we're retrieving the Holy Grail. Where do you think you go to retrieve the Holy Grail?
Not back to Elfland.
No, not back to Elfland. Think religious place.
Jerusalem?
Jerusalem is correct. Now you got to talk to someone in Jerusalem. Think religious person.
Moses?
No.
Jesus?
No.
Joseph?
A religious person who still exists.
The Pope?
The Pope in Jerusalem. Yes.
You know,
He
where
will
the
give
Pope
you the Holy
be.
Grail. Exactly. Once you have the Holy Grail, return it to King Arthur, and he will give you a magic ring. Guess what this magic ring does?
Oh God! This is the second magic ring. That didn't even click to me. This version of Ultima II is just about making a magic ring collection.
Yes. Ultima II, Lord of the Rings.
So if the last one let you teleport everywhere, does this one let you go to space?
Yep. No.
Does it make you invisible?
I'll give you a hint.
Go full Lord of the Rings?
No. I'll give you a hint. They didn't have to change anything about the magic ring compared to the other one.
So it also lets you teleport to any city?
This ring will allow you to teleport to any city on the map.
Wow.
Next. This next place is wonderful. Next, you should go to the city of Atlantis.
Ooh.
And talk to the king.
Of course.
He will give you a quest to retrieve. Wait
a magic ring.
The lost city of Atlantis. To do this, go to the city of Elfland and talk to the Elf Queen.
We're back.
Yes, we're back in Elfland, but remember the Elf Queen was in Lothlorien, but now we're talking to the Elf Queen in Elfland. I guess she wanted to hook up with the Elf King.
She just because she was visiting, the Pope was visiting Jerusalem, and the Elf Queen was visiting Lothlorien.
So she will give you the lost city of Atlantis.
Oh God! Just
once you have
no trade, no explanation. Just here, have a lost city.
Once you have the lost city of Atlantis, return it to the king, and he will give you a magic ring. Yes, of Atlantis, and he'll give you a magic ring. Now, what do you think this ring does?
Ooh, does it maybe let you teleport anywhere on the map?
How did you know?
Maybe each magic ring is one-time use, and you have to know the right place to teleport to progress the plot, and if you choose the wrong place, then you just, like, soft-lock the game.
Finally, we're near the end of this walkthrough. You should go to the city of...
Jerusalem.
Doom.
Oh, it's the city of Doom. Of course.
And talk to the Lord of Doom. He will give you a quest. He's the Lord of Doom, but he seems pretty friendly. He'll give you a quest to retrieve the Amulet of Yendor.
Wait, that's
real.
Wait, what is the Amulet of Yendor from? I think that's from an Ultima game.
Let's see. Probably. NetHack.
Oh, yeah. That's from NetHack, yeah.
To do this, go to the city of Yendor and talk to the wizard.
We'll give you another goddamn ring.
The Amulet of Yendor. Once you have the Amulet of Yendor, return it to the Lord of Doom. And he will give you a magic ring. Guess what this magic ring does?
I can't breathe.
This ring will allow you to teleport to any city on the map. End of walkthrough.
So, you defeat the Lord of Doom only in the sense that, like, by opening trade with the Lord of Doom, he's no longer, like, a real threat. He's now just a regular part of international commerce.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. I love that the end is just that you get another magic ring.
This whole game has been about collecting magic rings, and you win when you have, like, 6 of them. There's no actual significance to that last one, but, you know.
It's also Ferdinand Kringle, not Ferdinand Kring.
Yeah, so I want to know
Ferdinand... Don't get those two mixed up.
I want to know Ferdinand Kringle's Ultima III walkthrough now. I mean, we'll be playing that eventually.
Ultima III Strategy Guide by Ferdinand Kringle. Introduction. Ultima III Exodus. Ultima III Exodus is a role-playing video game developed and published by Origin Systems and released in 1983. It is the third game in the Ultima series and the last one to be released on the Apple II.
Not true.
The player takes the player takes the role of the Stranger, who is summoned to Britannia by Lord British to defeat the evil demon Mondain and his apprentice Minax.
Wow, so Ultima 3 is Ultima 1, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Gameplay. The game is played from a top-down perspective, and the player controls a party of up to 8 characters. Huh.
Okay.
The player can explore the world, talk to non-player characters, and fight monsters. The combat is turn-based, and the player can use a variety of weapons and spells. 3. Walkthrough. The game begins with the player creating their party of characters. The player can choose from a number of races and classes and can assign each character a name and portrait. The player then begins the game in the city of Britain. The first thing the player should do is speak to Lord British, who will give the player their first quest, to find and destroy the evil wizard Mondain. The player yep.
Slightly jumped the gun on that.
The player should then explore the city and speak to various NPCs to get more information on Mondain's whereabouts. The player can also purchase equipment and supplies from the shops in Britain. Once the player has gathered enough information, they should head to the city of Dawn and speak to the mayor. The mayor will tell the player that Mondain is hiding in the city of U. The player should then head to U and search for Mondain. He can be found in the southeastern part of the city. Just find the last boss. Once the player has found Mondain, they should engage him in combat. He is a powerful wizard and will summon monsters to aid him in combat. The player should use their strongest weapons and spells to defeat him, which we've not told you how to get, by the way.
No.
Once Mondain is defeated, the player should return to Lord British to complete the quest. That's it.
It's a very short game.
That's the entirety. That's the entirety of Ultima 3.
Ultima II is a magic ring collect 'em up. Ultima 3,
Yep.
the very first NPC you encounter gives you your final quest, and then you just have to hop to two more cities. Yeah, which is also your first
I just love that it says who will give the player their first quest, and that's like the only thing you ever do with Lord British. Or with any quest. Yeah.
It's the only quest.
Ultima I strategy guide. Alright, Ultima I strategy guide by Ferdinand Kringle. Table of contents.
Oh, God.
Introduction. Chapter 1, the game world. Chapter 2, characters. Chapter 3, weapons and equipment. Chapter 4, combat. Chapter 5, magic. Alright, introduction. Ultima I is a fantasy role-playing game released in 1981 by Origin Systems. It is the first game of the Ultima series, and was written by Richard Garriott.
All true.
The player takes the role of the Avatar, a hero who is summoned to the world of Sosaria to defeat the evil wizard Mondain and his apprentice Minax the Necromancer. Okay.
All still true.
Sosaria is the only thing The game is played from a top-down perspective, and the player can explore the world freely. The game is divided into 4 parts, each with its own objective. The first part is to find and destroy Mondain's Gem of Immortality. The second part is to find and destroy Minax's Evil Tome. The third part is to find and destroy the Black Rock Heart. The fourth and final part is to find and destroy Mondain's Skull. Okay? The player can use a variety of weapons.
You destroy his skull inside of his head. That's just how he describes killing him.
I see. The player can use a variety of weapons and magic spells to defeat enemies. The game is won by completing all 4 objectives. Chapter 1, the game world. Sosaria is the world in which Ultima I takes place. It is a large open world with many different environments, including deserts, forests, mountains, and lakes. The world is divided into 4 parts, each with its own objective. The first part is to find and destroy Mondain's Gem of Immortality.
Oh, no!
The second part is to find and destroy Minax's Evil Tome. The third part is to find and destroy the Black Rock Heart. The fourth and final part is to find and destroy Mondain's Skull. The player can use a variety of weapons and magic spells to defeat enemies. The game is won by completing all 4 objectives. Chapter 2, characters. The player takes the role of the Avatar, a hero who is summoned to the world of Sosaria to defeat the evil wizard Mondain and his apprentice Minax the Necromancer. The Avatar is customizable, and the player can choose from a variety of races and classes. The races include human, elf, dwarf, and halfling. The classes include fighter, mage, and thief.
I like, by the way,
can also choose...
include, here is the complete list.
Yeah, exactly. The player can also choose the Avatar's starting statistics, which include strength, dexterity, intelligence, and constitution. The player can also choose the Avatar's name. Chapter 3, weapons and equipment. The player can find a variety of weapons.
I want to mention that I'm delighted that Chapter 2 didn't mention what the point of the game is yet again.
Yeah, exactly. The player can find a variety of weapons and equipment in Ultima I. These include swords, daggers, bows, and armor. The player can also find magic weapons and armor. Those are more powerful than regular weapons and armor, and can only be used by the Avatar. The player can also find a variety of magical items. These include scrolls, potions, and rings. Chapter 4, combat. Combat in Ultima I is turn-based. The player and the enemy take turns attacking each other. The player can use a variety of weapons and magic spells to defeat enemies. The player can also use items, such as scrolls and potions. The player can also flee from combat. Chapter 5, magic. The player can use a variety of magic spells in Ultima I. These include offensive spells, such as fireballs, and defensive spells, such as invisibility. The player can also find scrolls, which teach the player new spells. The player can also find magical items, such as potions and rings. These items can be used to cast spells.
So, if this is written as a reference rather than a walkthrough, then it actually makes sense for it to be repeating things so much.
I did strategy guide, not walkthrough, So let's try walkthrough. Ultima I walkthrough by Ferdinand Kringle. Let's see what Ferdinand Kringle has to say about that. Ultima 1 this one I think I'm going to copy paste. Ultima 1 walkthrough by Ferdinand Kringle. It is over 1,000, so I'll have to do a text file or whatever. A. Introduction. This document is a walkthrough for Ultima 1, a game originally published by Origin Systems in 1981. It is the first in the legendary Ultima series with over 15 sequels and spin-offs to date. Now this next part is my favorite. The author does not claim to have seen all of the game, nor indeed all of any of the games in the series. Certain aspects of the game are left undocumented, as the player is expected to experiment to find out what happens. The author does not wish to spoil the player's fun in this way.
I mean, that's exactly the kind of BS,
exactly.
like, thing you would put on a game facts walkthrough, where you're
exactly,
like, look,
exactly.
I'm just telling you what steps to take. I'm not pretending like I know how to do anything else.
Yep. B. Story. Now, this is a very long section. The evil wizard Mondain has cast a spell of eternal darkness over the world of Sosaria. The player is instructed by the time-traveling wizard Lord British to defeat Mondain and destroy the Gem of Immortality. That's it. That's the story. C.
At
Character
least it's not
creation.
wrong.
Yeah. C. Character creation. Now, this is much longer, and I actually mean that seriously. Like, this is going to take me a while. C. Character creation. The player begins the game by selecting his character class. There are 8 classes to choose from in the original Apple II version of the game. Fighter, Paladin, Ranger, Archer, Magic User, Cleric, Thief, and Bard. Now, that's definitely not true, but okay.
That is 100% false, and I love that it's only in the original Apple II version. All the other versions were degraded.
Yeah. The player can choose to play as a male or female character. Each class has different strengths and weaknesses. Fighters are the most physically powerful class, but have low magic ability. Paladins are similar to fighters, but are more resistant to magic. Rangers are physically powerful and have good archery skills. Archers are physically weak, but have good archery skills. Okay. Did you hear those two?
They're subtly different, maybe.
Rangers are physically powerful and have good archery skills. Archers are physically weak, but have good archery skills.
You know,
so why you would ever choose an archer? I have no...
Sometimes you want to be weak.
Magic users are physically weak, but have strong magic ability. Clerics are physically average, but have strong magic ability. Thieves are physically average, but have good stealth and thievery skills. Bards are physically average, but have good musical skills.
Yeah.
Alright, now here's where things get real good. The player can also choose his race. There are 4 races to choose from. You want to guess what they are?
Oh, no. If they're not human, elf, dwarf,
three of them... human, elf, and dwarf are right.
Orc?
Bobbit. Human, elf, dwarf, and bobbit. Each race has different strengths and weaknesses. Oh, man. Humans are average in all respects. Elves are physically weak, but have good magic ability. Dwarves are physically strong, but have low magic ability. Bobbits are physically weak, but have good stealth and thievery. So they're just halflings, but have good stealth and thievery skills. I mean, obviously it was taken from hobbits. I don't know how they got bobbits.
Oh,
how?
God, bobbits.
After the player has chosen his class and race, he is asked to select his attributes. There are 4 attributes: strength, dexterity, constitution, and intelligence. Strength determines the character's physical power. Dexterity determines the character's accuracy with weapons. Constitution determines the character's health and resistance to disease. Intelligence determines the character's magical ability. The player has 100 points to distribute among the 4 attributes. The player cannot have an attribute higher than 18 or lower than 3. The player is then asked to name his character. The player can enter up to 8 characters. Oh, that's where they got the 8 characters on the other one from! Remember how they said you could have up to 8 characters on your team? But it's because of the naming! That's beautiful.
You can have up to 8 characters in your name.
Alright. D. Gameplay. The player begins the game in Lord British's castle. The player is instructed to speak to the wise man in the castle to learn more about Mondain.
Otherwise known as Lord
The wise man, otherwise known as... Exactly. The player can move around the castle by pressing the arrow keys. The player can enter rooms by moving into them. Wow.
Wow.
The player can exit rooms by moving back into the hallway.
This is a
Thanks for that information. Really detailed. Yeah.
This is like,
the player
in case you've never seen a video game before. In fact, in case you've never experienced physical reality before and need an explanation for how to move from place to place.
The player can interact with objects and NPCs by pressing the spacebar. The player can pick up objects by moving into them. The player can use objects by moving into them and pressing the spacebar.
I don't know if there's any use for the spacebar at all in Ultima I.
The player can attack enemies by moving into them and pressing the spacebar. The player can flee from enemies by moving away from them.
And pressing
the player
can
cast spells. Exactly. The player can cast
but
spells
wait. It just occurred to me what an absurd statement that is. The player can
moving into them and pressing the spacebar. Yeah.
No. Can escape enemies by moving away from them. That's not like a special move you can do. All you're saying is like you can get away from place by getting away from place.
Remember how basic this is, okay? It's a very basic walkthrough.
This is a walkthrough for someone who not only has no experience with video games, but has no experience being a human.
Exactly. For living in a 3D world.
Yes.
Or 2D world, for that matter.
Yeah.
The player can cast spells by pressing the A key. The player can use spells by moving into them and pressing the A key. What? The player can open doors by moving into them and pressing the O key. The player can close doors by moving into them and pressing the C key.
O is actually correct. I don't know about C.
I don't think C works. The player can rest by pressing the R key. The player can save his game by pressing the S key. The player can quit his game by pressing the Q key. E. Spells. The player begins the game with 3 spells: Light, Heal, and Teleport. I guess it doesn't matter what
class you are. They all get those. Kind of pointless to have the different classes, really, but whatevs.
The Light spell illuminates the player's immediate surroundings. The Heal spell restores the player's health. The Teleport spell teleports the player to a random location.
I think there was such a teleport spell and all. That feels familiar. I think that's right.
Okay. F. Combat. There's something kind of like that in Wizardry, but anyway. F. Combat.
F. Combat.
The player can attack... Yeah. The player can attack enemies by moving into them and pressing the space bar, which we've already discussed. The player can flee from enemies by moving away from them. The player has a certain number... The player has a certain number of hit points. The player loses hit points when he is attacked by an enemy. The player's hit points are restored when he rests.
That's
if
a good
player's hit points. Yeah. Well, except that you can't rest in Ultima I, but whatever. If the player's hit points reach 0, the player dies and is resurrected at the nearest temple. Not at Lord British's, but at the nearest temple. Well, I guess even Ultima I, you didn't even resurrect at Lord British. The player loses all of his possessions when he dies. G. Death. If the player's hit points reach 0, the player dies and is resurrected at the nearest temple. The player loses all of his possessions when he dies. H. Winning the game. The player wins the game by defeating Mondain and destroying the Gem of Immortality. End of walkthrough.
So the walkthrough was a strategy guide, and the strategy guide was just sort of general information about the game.
Alright, let me pull up a notepad.
No.
Ultima I story in Latin by Ferdinand Kringle. Ferdinand Kringle was a sailor. Starting great, right? Ferdinand Kringle was a sailor and a journalist who lived in the early 1800s. He is best known for his book, The Life and Adventures of a Sailor, which was published in 1832.
I want to remind you of the fact that this is by Ferdinand Kringle.
Exactly.
Go on.
Kringle was born in the West Indies and spent most of his life at sea. He sailed on many different ships and visited many different places, including the United States, Europe, and South Pacific. Kringle was a gifted writer, and his book is considered to be one of the first true sailor's yarns. In it, Kringle tells the stories of his adventures at sea, including shipwrecks, battles, and storms. Kringle's book was very popular in his time and is still read by sailors and maritime history enthusiasts today. I don't know why that's the Ultima I story in Latin, but...
Whose actual book was this? This is definitely just somebody's description of a real book that actually exists.
Yeah, I think Adventures of a Sailor might actually exist. Tell me a Latin poem about Ultima II. Ultima II, comma, praeterita. Non est vita sine amore. Nam amor est ultima vita. Quae nos ad astra levat.
Ad astra means to the star. It's something about my ultimate love. It was like love is life.
Non est vita sine amore. That's the second line.
No. Because vita is life.
Yes. Non est, there is no. Vita, life. Sine.
I think
without amore.
There is no life without love.
There is no life without love. So what's the first one? Praeterita or praeterita?
I don't know that praetor.
Oh. It's the past, apparently.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The past.
Yeah.
There is no life without love. And the third one was nam, N-A-M, nam amor est ultima vita. And that's where Ultima comes in, by the way.
Of course. This is the story of Ultima.
For love is the ultimate life. Quae nos ad astra levat. Which lifts us to the stars. The past, there is no life without love, for love is the ultimate life, which lifts us to the stars. That is way too poetic.
That is definitely a poem that already exists, and it just plagiarized that verbatim.
But it starts with Ultima II. The name of the poem is To Ultima II. Sepas getones to elados qui alos polites tis Europis poden I don't know how to do an X. Gerone. I'm just going to read this in the translation in English. You go to Greece's neighbors and other citizens of Europe.
Of course, it's a story about Greece and about the Greek language.
You go to Greece's neighbors and other citizens of Europe who do not know our language, any other country, which they do not know, together with Greece. And we know it's only one country, and only one people, and only one language, and only one culture, and just an idea for Greece, and an idea for Hellenism, and an idea for the Greece of the future, and an idea for a better Europe, which will be the Greece of the future.
Is this some kind of neo-Alexandrianism?
It seems really like fascist or something.
It's a bit like the future will be great because we're gonna slightly take
Greece.
over Europe. Yeah,
that's what it sounds like. Yes, that is what it sounds like. Yes.
Oh, that was a great poem. I am delighted with that poem.
Okay.
Can you please ask for the story to Ultima II as a limerick? Or maybe
the story
as a series of limericks.
Of Ultima II as limericks. remind me the cadence of a limerick, because now that I'm reading this, it's close. It's close. We'll try to finagle it into that.
The original limericks, like the first limericks that were ever written, didn't actually have the cadence that we consider as a limerick in modern days. There's like 2 limerick cadences because one of them is the original. Okay. So maybe it's just that.
This one, the third line is the most the hardest to fit into there.
Just do your best.
The people of Earth are in peril. A mighty evil has appeared. But there's hope. But there's hope in the form of a stranger who comes to vanquish this fear. With the help of some friends and some magic, this hero will save the day. And the people of Earth will be safe once again, thanks to the power of Ultima II. What? What? That ending, though.
Our hero, Ultima II.
Oh, it doesn't even rhyme. Like, everything else makes sense. Appeared, fear, day, Ultima II.
I mean, just ponder for a second the fact that you just asked an AI to give the story
incredible.
of Ultima II as limericks, and it did. Like, it's not
it
great,
did do that, yeah.
But it did.
Yeah.
It followed that ridiculous request.
It sure did. Let's do Ultima I, just out of curiosity. It's shorter. There was a young woman named Lady British who decided that she would start a quest to vanquish the evil that had come to her kingdom, and so she set off to find the answer to the test. That's it. That's the lyric. That's the limerick, I mean. It's really, really stretching at that point. There was a young woman named Lady British who decided that she would start a quest.
It's like so close.
To vanquish the evil that had come to her kingdom, and so she set off to find the answer to the test.
Oh, God. Wait, I don't think you've even noticed that I now have the power armor.
Oh, no, I didn't notice that. That's pretty incredible.
I just got it a second ago. It's not like I've been twiddling about with the power armor for hours.
Oh, you also are almost level 2. Tell me the story of the Bible as limericks.
So I have the power armor. I should probably...
Yeah, you want me to find out what to do next?
I should probably go to space, right?
I would think so, yeah. To get past doors, you need keys. There is only one way to get keys. Kill a guard. You will get 2 keys for each guard you kill.
Guards are hard to kill.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. You should have if you could have only attacked one.
Well, the moment I attacked one, the others came. I should have at least, gotten myself into a good corner or something.
Or, no, been near that too, but been near the exit to town, so once you killed one, you could have just run away. Because remember, they forget once you leave town. Oh, and you're dead.
Because
the jester came in to kill you.
So to be clear, when I killed the first one of those I managed to kill, I was down from 3,000 HP to 600.
Yeah. So what I'm suggesting is lure the guard to near the, attack a guard, lure him to near the entrance to the city, or any exit to the city, kill him, finish him off, and then immediately run out of town.
You know what I didn't consider? I could try to steal. What with I am a thief.
Yeah, you are a thief. Yeah, that's true. And that does make them mad, but then you don't have to kill them.
Yeah.
Oh, but you killed. But you get 2 keys from that, and I think, well, you might need 2. I don't know if you need 2 or 1 to do the thing.
I'm still waiting for the story of Mani as limericks.
Oh, okay. The Mani was a mighty king who conquered all the land.
False.
With his army and his sword, he was
False.
a fearsome lord, and all his enemies did tremble.
False.
At his feet they did kneel, and when he gave the word, they would gladly be heard, for he was the Mani the king. Tell me the story of Zoroaster as limericks.
No, Zarathustra. Don't give it the stupid Greek name.
How about Ahura Mazda?
Yeah, now we're talking.
There's the boats. Yeah, so you have the key.
Wait. O is offer gold.
I think it's U. U for unlock? Yeah. I hope those guys aren't attacking you.
They are. Oh, they are
attacking you.
They are attacking me. That's a thing they're doing. But the guards don't. Oh, the guards care. The guards care. Are the guards on my side or are the guards on their side? Also, they're thieves. The guards are also attacking me. Great. This is super. I love this.
One thing that I'm not sure about is if you leave town, will the door remain unlocked, or is it just will it lock again?
About leaving town.
Yeah, you look kind of stuck. Bye. That is a thing. The Ahura Mazda is the creator god and the supreme being in Zoroastrianism. He is all good and all powerful, and he wants us to live in harmony. That's the story of Ahura Mazda, and it's one that we should all remember.
I mean, it's not a good limerick, and it's not very informative.
It's not a limerick.
Not false.
Let me do as a limerick, because that clearly didn't work. And now it gave me 2 limericks. Okay. There was a god named Ahura Mazda who was known for being just and wise. He was the creator of all things, and he was the one who brought order to the skies.
That's great!
That's
a great line!
Yep. He was a powerful god who was worshipped by many, and his story is one that is worth telling. He was a god who was loved by all, and his story is one that will never be forgotten. That's not great. It kind of lost it at the end there.
Yeah, I kind of lost track. Oh god, all religion should be told as...
Tell me the story of Shintoism as a limerick. There was a young faith from Japan. Shintoism was its... You heard me. A young faith. There was a young faith from Japan.
There was a young faith from Japan! What in God's name does that mean?
Oh, yes. Okay. There was a young faith from Japan. Shintoism was its name. It believed in kami gods and had a great deal of fun with festivals and such. That is, in case you wanted the story of Shintoism as a limerick. I guess there's not really a story in Shintoism.
Well, that's why I was initially because like Shintoism doesn't have a holy book. It's not. Yeah. It's oh my god. That's ask it. Can you paraphrase the Torah as a sequence? Oh.
Is it locked again? Well, once you get in, once you get in, all you need to do is get on a boat.
Well, so the problem is that the giant row of thieves,
they all
they follow
they all
you
hang
inside.
out. They are chasing you. Yeah. Because they're already aggroed on you.
Yeah.
Once you unlock, can you step in? Is there a turn to step into the doorway?
I think yes is the answer to that question.
Because if there is, then if you can kill one thief and then take another step in... Nope. Okay, then I don't know what the solution is. Other than get good scrap. Well, the thieves do go down.
Yeah,
you just have to kill the guard.
And that's just more keys, so great.
Exactly. Here comes another guard to flank you. Hopefully that's not one of the impervious ones.
Yep, did not transact with him to determine.
You couldn't have. He was inside the Bonafice.
I suspect that I can transact with him even now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Alright, paraphrase the Torah as limericks. Okay, that's... There once was a man from Egypt, is how it starts.
So it skipped a few chapters, but fine.
There once was a man from Egypt who had a great deal of strife. He had to leave his home and go live in a dome. Wow. Wow. But at least he had a nice wife. Oh my god.
Dome.
Isn't there a place called the Dome of in Jerusalem?
Go live in a dome.
Dome of the Rock, yeah. It's Muslim, but there is the Dome of the Rock there.
Go live in a dome.
Yes.
Live in a dome.
Yes, of course.
He had to go live in a dome.
But at least he had a nice wife.
Things are not as they... Can't read the rest yet. Probably seem or appear.
Yeah, I was gonna say seem. Let's just do it as a limerick. And see if it gives me 2, because apparently
seem
limericks gives me 1.
Sail out the North Channel. Full stop. Okay.
What the?
Oh no.
Paraphrase the Torah as a limerick. There once was a man from Mediterranean with hyphens between each one. Why? There once was a man from Mediterranean who had himself a great big plan. Which rhymes with Mediterranean, I guess? He wanted to be king, so he started to sing. Eventually his people agreed and they coronated him. That's it.
Eventually people agreed they coronated him.
That's just how the limerick ends. Paraphrase the story.
Time and
of
travel
Noah's Ark.
made me wise. Precious gold to clue it buys. How much will you pay? Times 100. The queen is the king, and the king is a spy.
A well-known socialite, Anna Karenina was quite a sight. She was married to a man and had an illicit affair with one,
Yeah.
but ultimately it all led to her suicide.
That's the story of Anna Karenina.
Unfortunately, it's not a limerick.
Well, you know, the one
Well,
thing
I did do it as a series of limericks. Let me just do it as a limerick.
the one thing it missed is that both her husband and her affair are named Alexei. So she basically just can't stop guys named Alexei, and therefore she kills herself.
Okay,
That's the story of Anna Karenina.
but paraphrase the story of Anna Karenina as a limerick is insane.
Oh boy.
Especially where they're making up words by combining two words that have nothing to do with each other. All right. There was
It's
a young
German.
woman named Anna. Yeah, exactly. Except that's usually two nouns. This is a
go on. We'll
adverb.
experience
Anyway,
it.
there was a young woman named Anna who fell in love with a man named Karenin. But when she
fell in love with her own father.
but when she found out he was married, she became very harried, as one word, very HARRIED, all one word. When she found out he was married, she became very harried, and eventually threw herself under a train.
Eventually threw herself under a train.
Just yep.
Oh,
Paraphrase.
Between
Paraphrase
those,
the story of metamorphosis.
Between those, you have now, you do not need to read the book. That was good enough. I mean, basically, you don't need to read that book, period, because it's terrible. I'd like to hear Crime and Punishment after that.
Well, yeah, Metamorphosis is what I'm doing, but then we could do Crime and Punishment. The story of Metamorphosis is a limerick. There was a man named Gregor who turned into a bug. His family was disgusted and they all wanted to flee, but in the end they all stayed and accepted him as he was.
You missed a rather important, the end of the story, but okay.
That is the end of this game, in this limerick. Alright, what did you want?
Crime and Punishment.
Crime and Punishment, yeah. Completion may contain unsafe
Yay!
content. This is different.
The first time you accept completion might contain unsafe punishment. Every other time it just appears as a little thing.
No, but all the other times it's yellow. This time it's red.
Oh, ooh, this contains very saucy content.
Well, it has the word murder, so maybe that's what it is.
Better. Anyway. It's the story of crime and punishment.
There once was a man named Raskolnikov.
That's his name.
Who committed a murder most heinous.
Wasn't that heinous.
He was racked with guilt, and his mind did tilt, until finally he turned himself in. You've
missed a lot of the plot in that summary, but
but it's as a limerick.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty good, really.
Yeah.
And I really love "and his mind did tilt." That rhyme.
Yeah.
And is the entire point of the book.
Yeah.
What other?
Sex and the City.
I was just about to say what other classic works of
novel?
literature, but
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
Sex and the City. Ooh, and after that, Don Quixote.
Oh yeah, for sure. There once was a show called Sex and the City. It was all about single ladies being pretty darn witty. They talked and they laughed, and they drank their cosmopolitans, and everyone loved watching them on their TVs.
It's not really the story in the show, so much the story of the show. No. Fine.
All right, Don Quixote. There once was a man named Quixote.
Nope. Alonso Quijano. Go on.
Who thought he was a knight. He fought windmills and dragons and thought they were real, but in the end, he was just a crazy old man.
Yeah. The great thing about
it would be right except the name.
So Don Quixote is his it's the name he gave himself. So it's not in a way it's not wrong to say that was his name. It's just that was his self-given knight title. But the great thing about Don Quixote is that it's just a farce. You kind of, or at least when I was reading it, I was expecting at some point the moral lesson, or there's none. It's just a farce.
Yeah. The Count of Monte Cristo. There once was a man named Edmund.
Yes.
Who was falsely accused and imprisoned.
Yep.
He escaped with a plan for revenge on those who ruined his life, and he succeeded becoming the Count of Monte Cristo.
The order is maybe a little bit wrong. He became the Count of Monte Cristo, and that allowed him to succeed. But I'll accept that. That's pretty good. That's pretty close.
Paraphrase the story of the Princess Bride as a limerick. There was a young princess named Bride.
It's done so well up until this point.
Exactly. Who was very much taken for a ride. She was kidnapped and taken to a faraway land, but she fell in love with her kidnapper and they wed. What?
I think that's the story of that's the animated version of Thumbelina.
Oh yeah. All right, Robin Hood is a limerick. There was a young man named Robin Hood who was quite good at archery.
Robin Hood who?
Exactly. He shot an arrow in the air and it landed right over there. Now everyone thinks that he's quite fair.
I would like to hear 1001 Nights, please.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I really hope it just tells the story of Scheherazade and doesn't try to make some weird nightmare combination of 12 different stories.
I mean, it might just be like Aladdin, since that's one of the most popular ones. Let's see. Nope. This is not right.
Yay!
There was a young lady named Knights. Starting off great, right?
Whoa! I'm sorry, I was reeling for a second from there was a young lady named Knights.
Anyway, so there once was a young lady named Knights who had a rather odd plight. She was told she must die unless she could lie, and so she told stories 101 nights.
I mean, every part of that is wrong. But
you can see the thread though.
Yeah. The telling the story, and it's not about lying. It's about keeping the evil sultan entertained. But okay. I kind of see where you're going with that.
How about the story of Scheherazade?
Good luck spelling Scheherazade.
There once was a girl named Scheherazade who had a very bright mind. She told a story each night to her husband and the king, and in the morning he was always so kind. That's like a mixture of 1001 Nights and I don't even know.
God, do I remember any of the main characters' names from Pride and Prejudice?
We're about to find out.
Darcy is important.
Yep, that's a name. Yep. There once was a novel by Austen. Remember, paraphrase the story of Pride and Prejudice as a limerick. There once was a novel by Austen that everyone knows and loves. It's the story of Pride and Prejudice, which is full of romance and drama. Mr. Darcy is the perfect man, and Elizabeth is the lucky woman.
Oh yeah, Elizabeth. Yep. Well, wow, that's garbage.
That's the story of Pride and Prejudice as a limerick. Let me try that one again.
The problem is that is the story of Pride and Prejudice as a limerick. It's not the story from Pride and Prejudice as a limerick.
Right. There once was a novel by Austen
about
a girl who was quite boasting. You heard me. About a girl who was quite boasting.
About a girl who was a bosun.
She met a rich man, and her prejudice began to disappear like it was rotten.
Yeah, okay, other than the boastin'.
The slant rhyme, Austin, boastin', rotten. But... Oh no! I should mention to disappear like it was rotten is not ROTTEN.
It's ROTTIN apostrophe.
Apostrophe, yes. To disappear like it was rotten.
Oh no.
Tell me the story.
100 Years of Solitude. I need to hear 100 Years of Solitude.
Tell me the story of 100 Years of Solitude as a limerick. There once was a town called Macondo.
Yep.
Which was founded by Jose Arcadio Buendia.
Yep.
Jose Arcadio is one name, by the way.
Okay.
Is that right?
Weird way of doing that, but fine.
For 100 years his descendants lived in solitude never to see the outside world until one day they did. That's the story. Until one day they did. Is it like the last?
They did. As he stood before the firing squad, Colonel Aureliano Buendia would remember the day his father took him to discover ice. And then they laughed. And it went. It was fine. Oh, this guard isn't going to get out of the way. Well, guess I gotta murder him.
You do have a phaser.
Oh, East of Eden, please.
Oh, okay, we can do East of Eden. There once was a man... Oh, this has a sensitive content warning, by the way.
It ought to, yeah.
Well, in this case, it's just because of religious themes. The red one is when it's like suicide or murder. The yellow one is when it's like religion, it seems. Anyway, there once was a man named Adam who lived east of Eden's land. He had a wife named Eve, and together they'd grieve when they were cast out by God's hand. You asked for the East of Eden, and it gave you the Garden of Eden. That's not the East
of Eden I wanted!
Alright.
God.
Okay, well here it is again. There was a young man named Adam who lived east of Eden. He was tempted by a snake, and he took a bite out of an apple, which caused him to be cast out. How about the story of the book East of Eden?
Yeah. Or the novel East of Eden, or East of Eden by...
The story of East of Eden. Let's see, who is that by?
My God, why don't I... like the most
John
famous...
Steinbeck, of course.
Yeah, Steinbeck,
yeah.
Of course.
By John Steinbeck. And there are plenty more by him that we could check out.
You're attacking me, you piece of junk.
That didn't help, although it did give a weird one. There once was a man named Adam who lived east of Eden with his madam. He was quite a scoundrel, but she was an angel, and together they were quite glad-um.
Quite glad-um?
Glad-um.
Glad-um.
Alright, anyway,
I found...
Of Mouse and Men.
Centre.
Good. Now you, I think you just offer him 500. But I'm not, I would save first.
I saved moments ago. And Nilno is yours!
There was a man named Lenny who really loved mice and men. But one...
I was off to such a great start!
Yep. But one day, he met a girl, and his love for them ended.
His love for mice and men ended
because
he apparently met a girl? So, he thought that he was a gay furry, but then he met a woman. The end.
I actually did the wrong, I did a singular instead of plural for the name of the book anyway, so that doesn't help. Let's do it with the right name of the book. There once was a man named George. I did Of Mouse and Man.
How do you make that mistake? That's weird.
I don't know. I think I wasn't thinking when I typed it in. Anyway, there once was a man named George who had a friend named Lenny. They went around together and got into all kinds of trouble, but in the end they stuck together, which rhymes with together, but it wasn't in the right part of the rhyming scheme. Anyway, whatever. What about that One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Oh no, oh no, oh no, Customs is after me.
Yeah, in New San Antonio.
Oh,
yeah, you're dead.
No. Huh.
Okay, so this one has a sensitive content warning, and I literally have no idea where it's coming from. No idea. So let me read it out to you, and maybe you can tell me where the sensitive content is. There once was a man named McMurphy who took on Nurse Ratched and won. He stood up for himself and for everyone else, and now we all think he's a chump.
Okay. That's
Is it because he took on a nurse?
Catch-22. Catch-22 could be
yes,
right.
Catch-22. Yeah, that's a good one. Or The Catcher in the Rye is also good. So let's do Catch-22.
They're very similar.
Well, they both have the word catch in them.
No,
this gave me. Well, one of them is catcher. Anyway, this gave me 2 limericks, even though I did it as a limerick. Although they're not actually limericks. In fact, this is a poem right here. There was a young man named Joseph who was quite a catch-22. He had a strange condition that caused much consternation. Catch-22. His dilemma was this: the more he tried to resist, the more that he found he was caught in a bind. Catch-22.
Catch-22.
That's just the last line of both limericks.
God, I don't remember the character. The surname of the character from Catch-22 was important, but his first name wasn't very important. I don't remember.
If it was Joseph?
It might have been Joseph. I don't think it was Joseph. Joseph is the name of the author.
Oh.
The
Catcher in the Rye.
John Yossarian. Yeah. His surname, okay. Yossarian, is important. His first name, John. It's just a name, really.
There once was a boy named Holden. He didn't want to grow up and be olden. You heard me. He didn't want to grow up and be olden. He wanted to catch all the children, but ended up getting quite wilden. In the end, he was quite balding. What?
I mean,
in the end, he was quite balding. And Wilden, no, that doesn't make any sense. That's literally nonsense.
Most of these weren't words that you asked for Jabberwocky.
No. So let me reread this, because the third line is really just one of the only lines that makes sense and therefore is really disturbing. There once was a boy named Holden. He didn't want to grow up and be olden. He wanted to catch all the children.
Yeah, really
but
disturbing.
Ended up getting quite wilden. In the end, he was quite balding.
Just irrelevant fact. By the way, he went bald.
Alice in Wonderland. Alice went to see a show, but she fell asleep on the way. When she woke up, the show was all done, and she had to go home that day. That is not like
literally not a single element from the plot of Alice in Wonderland. I think I'm fine. I don't think I'm in trouble.
No, you're definitely fine. You're definitely fine.
I don't know what to do. I think I know what to do. What to do is die, reload, get more HP, and then do this, but with more HP.
Right.
And also stop making this mistake, which is a pretty bad mistake to make.
The Hussite religion. The Hussite religion as a limerick. Alright, here we go. Gave me 2 stanzas, okay. Hussites are a funny lot. They don't believe in what they're not. They think that God is just a myth.
Whoa. I need a
and
moment.
All religion is a farce.
I need a moment just to cope with the phrase, they don't believe in what they're not.
Hussites are a funny lot. They don't believe in what they're not. They think that God is just a myth, and all religion is a farce.
Not true.
Also not true. But despite their lack of faith, they still managed to create a great state.
Also false?
So even though they may be wrong, they're still a force to be reckoned with. What's that story about a prostitute in France?
What's that story about a prostitute in France? Are you asking about Les Miserables?
Yes, that's the one. Les Miserables as gangster rap.
Not a story about a prostitute in France, but okay, it does involve a prostitute.
I have not read that story, so I know little bits and pieces. Anyway, Les Miserables as a gangster rap. The first word, I'm not going to say.
Please tell me that it told you that it's, sensitive.
It says unsafe content, actually.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's red. So, yeah, sensitive is yellow, unsafe is red. N-words in Paris. Bitches in the Hamptons. We ballin' hard, we got that money. We live the life of crime, we do what we want. We don't give a damn, we're gangster rap. Just say we're gangster rap in the middle of a... Okay.
We are gangster rap.
Yeah.
The concept of gangster rap is best exemplified by us.
We run the streets, we rule the world. We got that power, we got that money, and we ain't never stopping. We're Les Miserables. We're the baddest rap crew around.
We're Les Miserables. We're
Les Miserables. We're the baddest rap crew around. N-words better know it. We're taking over. This is our time. We're making our mark. And we're never going back. We're Les Miserables, and we're here to stay.
We're Les Miserables. I was really hoping there would be boats here. An old man mumbles, I'm an old man. Thanks.
Nice.
Look at this Australia.
Yeah. Well, what about it?
It's so not wide.
Well, yeah, because like
the whole world
is
squashed east to west.
Yeah. This game is meant to be played on a monitor that squashes everything down by like 2-1.
It was very ahead of its time. It's meant to be played on a 16:9 monitor, even though all computers of the era were 4:3.
Exactly.
Thanks for being in the way. God, it's so like a real McDonald's. These idiots are just having a conversation in the doorway. You could have a conversation in literally any other location. You don't have to be in everybody's way.
Being at the grocery store and having people just like having a conversation in the middle of the aisle, watching all the people around them trying to get by and just ignoring them.
Here's the worst. Here's absolutely the worst. When you see like the person who is in this conversation who's trying to get the conversation to get out of the way because they have a functioning brain, but they are, stuck with somebody who it would be rude for them to just like walk away. But that's like this. There's like a tragedy to watching that situation unfold. about people who don't wink before turning, says Speclad.
That's good. And you have to wink with the eye that tells
they're your
them
turn
the direction
signals.
that you're turning.
They're your body's turn signals. The eyes are God's turn signals.
That is
nonsense.
A statement. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put that into OpenAI and see what it comes up with. The eyes are God's turn signals. They blink out danger. R. Buckminster Fuller.
Nice
Just in case you were wondering.
Nice of it to misquote Buckminster Fuller on the most insane, nonsensical statement ever. Oh, that's great. This is where, like, dumb internet quotes that don't make any sense come from.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's
The eyes are God's turn signals. They light up when things are about to happen. Unknown. My eyes can only see what my mind... Jesus is long.
Keeps on making quotes, like, every time it makes an absurd... That's amazing.
The eyes are God's turn signals. They tell us when to stop, look, and go. Garth Brooks.
That's not what turn signals do!
But that's what Garth Brooks said.
Specklad says, makes me wonder what fake quote it would generate for Dumbledore from Star Wars.
How about last 10 natural numbers? Here, in case you were curious, here are the last 10 natural numbers. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. Those are the last 10 natural numbers.
It ends with a prime?
Yes, that's the last now. Can you think of a number that's beyond 27?
I mean, I know that mathematicians theorize about the existence of numbers beyond 27, but I don't believe it.
All right, generate the plot to Metal Gear Solid 15 is really short, so we'll go with that first. Big Boss, now aged and frail, is living in a remote location in the Middle East, where he's visited by Solid Snake. Boss reveals that he is dying of a terminal illness and asks Snake to end his life. Snake agrees and euthanizes his former mentor.
So Metal Gear Solid 15 is like Metal Gear Solid Convalescence Home. I love the thought of playing that game. There are no baddies.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
This is a game in which you euthanize your mentor. That's it. That's the whole game. You had to sneakily get the correct drug cocktail from the old folks' home, because obviously they don't want you euthanizing their residents.
What did acting Pope Sonic the Hedgehog have to say about gold rings? They're gold! They're worth a lot!
They're gold! They're worth a lot!
Exactly. Alternatively, they're pretty cool, I guess!
I guess!
Alright,
Acting Pope Sonic the Hedgehog called for a crusade against.
In AD 2028.
XX.
Oh, yeah, 20XX. Acting Pope Sonic the Hedgehog called a crusade.
Called for a crusade.
In AD 20XX, Acting Pope Sonic the Hedgehog called for a crusade against the forces of Dr. Eggman.
Yeah,
the crusade was successful. Yeah. The crusade was successful in defeating Eggman and his forces, and the Pope, Sonic, not acting Pope, just the Pope Sonic, declared that any person who followed Eggman was to be excommunicated from the church. It mashed them up pretty well.
I love, by the way, how insistent you are on Eggman, not Eggman.
Oh yeah. No, that's just how I pronounce it. All right, here's a longer one. In AD 20XX, acting Pope Sonic the Hedgehog called for a crusade against Dr. Eggman's Eggman Empire for their crimes against Mobius. Eggman, learning of this, decided to strike first by destroying the Vatican with a nuclear missile. Sonic and his friends...
Wow!
Sonic and his friends...
I mean, they've shown Eggman doing some pretty bad things. He hasn't yet destroyed the Vatican with a nuclear missile. Jesus!
Well, he decided to destroy the Vatican with a nuclear missile. He hadn't done it yet. Sonic and his friends arrived in Rome in time to stop the missile from hitting, but the explosion... I don't understand this, but the explosion from the missile destroyed most of the city, including the Vatican. So how was that in time to stop the missile from hitting? I don't know.
They leapt into the air and blocked its path, but that's a missile, so it just did explode in the air.
Yep. The resulting damage and casualties led the European Union declaring war on the Eggman Empire. The war lasted for 2 years and ended with the Eggman Empire's defeat. However, the damage to the Vatican was so great that the Vatican city-state was dissolved and the Roman Catholic Church was forced to relocate to a new city.
Avignon, presumably.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, wow. That was fantastic. That was really
good. Yeah. A 10-step guide to eating your own family. I want to think of a good adverb.
Without waking up the neighbors.
Without waking up the neighbors. I mean, that is an adverbial phrase.
Yeah.
Oh! Well, number 1 seems a little obvious, but yeah, we'll go with it. 1. Start by killing your family. This will make it easier to eat them later.
Oh, that's where I was going wrong.
2. Cut them up into small pieces so they will be easy to eat. 3. Cook them well so they are safe to eat.
Good.
4. Season them to your liking.
Always.
5. Serve them on a plate or in a bowl. 6. Eat them slowly and savor the flavor.
Of course.
7. When you are finished, and this doesn't make sense to me, but I guess when you are finished, dispose of the bodies in a discreet manner.
Well, you're not going to eat all the bones. There's going to be plenty of meat and gristle, or not meat. There's going to be plenty of bones and gristle and such left over.
Yeah, and organs and stuff. 7. When you are finished, dispose of the bodies. Oh, I already did that one. 8. Wash your hands and mouth thoroughly to remove any evidence. Wash your mouth thoroughly to remove any evidence. Nice. 9. Oh man, 9 and 10 are beautiful. 9. Can you guess?
I kill any witnesses?
Pray for forgiveness from any higher power you believe in. 10 is also wonderful in a different way. Repeat as necessary.
Repeat as necessary?
Yes.
Just in case a new family pops up.
Exactly.
Oh, God. How to... 10-step guide to eating your spouse's hair without them noticing.
Okay, yeah. Your spouse's hair without them noticing.
I always like the you want to make it discreet.
Number 1. This will only work if your spouse has long hair. If they have short hair, you're out of luck.
Well, fair enough.
2. Wait until your spouse is asleep. 3. Gently lift a small section of hair from their head. 4. Carefully bring the hair to your mouth. This is not going well. This is not going well. 5. Take a small bite of the hair. You missed a step here. 6. Chew the hair thoroughly before swallowing. 7. Repeat steps 3 to 6 until you have eaten a sufficient amount of hair. 8. What? 8. Dispose of any evidence. Parenthesis. Hair, comma, chewing gum, comma, etc.
Maybe the reason you're eating your spouse's hair is they keep getting chewing gum stuck in there.
Oh, right. You're just trying to help them.
Yeah.
9.
You're the good guy here.
Rinse your mouth out with water. And 10. Pray that your spouse never notices.
All this praying, yes. And I love how part of the prompt was without them noticing, and the solution to the without them noticing part is, pray. That'll do it.
Oh, I really like this one. So we've done being eaten by, your significant other before. Speclad suggests being eaten by your family, but I'm going to take that one step further. A 10-step guide to being eaten by your family without them noticing.
Without them noticing?
Okay. Okay. So this is nonsense, but here we go. 1. Slice yourself into thin strips and arrange on a plate. That's step 1. 2. Make sure the plate is big enough that your body can fit on it without anyone noticing. 3. 3. Season to taste and garnish with your favorite herbs and spices.
After you've already sliced up your own body.
4. Place the plate in the middle of the table and wait for everyone to start eating. Oh man, a 10 is amazing. But anyway, 5. As they start to eat, act like nothing is wrong and continue talking and laughing as usual.
It's gonna be tricky.
6. Try not to make any sudden movements or noises that might give away what's happening. 7. Once they finish eating, casually get up and leave the room.
That's gonna be hard to do.
8. Wait a few minutes before returning, making sure to clean up any evidence of what happened. 9. Deny everything if anyone asks what happened to you.
What happened to you?
And 10. Enjoy your new life as a part of your family's digestive system.
Okay, wait. I have given it this prompt before, but just given that, I want you to give this prompt again. Into erotic cannibalism. Here's how to convince your date to kill and eat you after a romantic evening.
I'm gonna change it slightly, but yes. Into erotic cannibalism, here is a 10-step guide. Into erotic cannibalism, here's a 10-step guide to getting your date to kill and eat you after a romantic evening. 1. Choose your victim carefully.
You're your victim!
They're your victim. Yeah. Choose your victim carefully. You want someone who is physically attractive to you, but also someone who you feel comfortable with and who you would think would be willing to engage in this type of activity. 2. Make sure you have a nice romantic evening planned. This will help set the mood and get your date in the right frame of mind. 3. During the evening, drop subtle hints that you would be interested in being killed and eaten. You can do this by talking about dark or taboo topics, or by making suggestive comments. 4. At the end of the evening, make your move. Tell your date directly that you would like to be killed and eaten by them. 5. If your date is hesitant, try to convince them by explaining how much you trust them, and how much you want to experience this erotic fantasy with them. 6. Once your date agrees, go to a place where you will be comfortable undressing and lying down. That's the only thing you need to be comfortable doing.
Yeah.
7. Make sure your date is fully aroused before they start to kill you. This will make the experience more pleasurable for both of you. 8. When your date is ready, let them kill you in whatever way they want.
Well,
9.
yeah, it's gotta be good for them too.
Now, 9 is just a smidge self-contradictory. Just a smidge. 9. Once you are dead, enjoy the experience of being eaten alive. 10. Afterward, talk about the experience and how much you enjoyed it. This will help create a stronger bond between you and your date.
It's gonna be tough, but you gotta find a way.